I didn't have high expectations going into the Godzilla Minus One movie. I mean, every other Godzilla movie I've seen, I forgot about the minute I left the theater. And a budget of only 15 million bones made me expect some once upon a time CGI. But somehow, this $15 million movie took my expectations out back and beat them with a stick. Just to put into perspective how crazy that is, that Indiana Jones movie that came out had 20 times the budget of Godzilla and was absolute booty. Actually, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny could be the best movie ever made, but I'll never know because I'm not gonna watch that shit. Our story follows a man named Koichi Shikishima in Japan during the near end of World War II, where his sergeant told him, "Alright, so we're gonna teach you how to fly this thing, and you're gonna fly it into a boat." To which Koichi said, nuh-uh, my plane's broken, and flew his fully functioning plane over to an island of mechanics to get it repaired. And right as the mechanics were about to call him on his bullshit, Godzilla appeared. While the mechanics were busy getting jumped by the Triceratops, Koichi Itadakimasu was not getting busy with that big turd on the plane. Instead, he got scared and hesitated until it was too late. Godzilla finished gobbling up the mechanics while Koichi was blacked out and was about to end the movie early, but then he saw the jawline on him and decided he'd live another day. The aftermath of the dinosaur attack left only Koichi and one now Paralympics-ready mechanic alive. Remember that. After this incident, Koichi Sumimasen returned to Tokyo to find an apocalyptic wasteland where his home once was, as well as both of his parents dead. It's just really unlucky timing that Oppenheimer came out a few months before this movie, otherwise he might have been alright. While adjusting to his new life, Koichi was overwhelmed with guilt from his past mistakes, and takes in a lady and an orphan baby as a sort of makeshift family to help him try to redeem himself in his mind. He provides for his family by taking up a dangerous job as a sea mine cleaner, where he uses the skills he learned in the war to put himself to use and try to start a new life, even though he's still constantly plagued by his run-in with Godzilla and unwillingness to kamikaze himself in the war. Right off the bat, this movie separates itself from a lot of the garbage that's been spewing out of Hollywood recently. By making the main character flawed and make mistakes, but also be self-aware of his mistakes while actively trying to atone for them. And surprisingly, one of the best parts about the dinosaur movie is actually the people. The relationships Koichi Subaru builds with his not-wife and not-child seem very genuine, and the members of his mine-cleaning team are all likable and feel like they really build a bond over time and care for each other. The acting was great in this movie, but they do have a sort of anime-like cartoonish feel to them. Like when bro had a meltdown, he and his not-wife fell to the ground and she started violently rubbing him and shaking him. Like, I don't know what kind of consoling that was, but it looked like she was trying to set him on fire. Also, Koichi slammed himself down face first onto the table, screaming, "I beg you," like 3 times. So yeah, there was definitely a goofy undertone to it, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't notice that Godzilla moved around like an action figure in some scenes, but the emotional scenes still hit hard, and the acting was phenomenal overall. Also, side note, how did they get that little kid to cry on command? I could just imagine her parents in the background pulling out the belt and telling her Santa's not real or something. He is, by the way. I've seen him. Now, as much praise as this movie deserves, Godzilla is built wrong.
What the hell? Oh my god, no.
He definitely loses a bit of the intimidation factor he has with his childbearing hips and little baby arms. But that just makes it even more impressive that he's such an imposing force in the movie, even though he looks like Squidward after he got into all those Krabby Patties. He's built like one of Lizzo's backup dancers, but believe me, he would not let Lizzo call him a fat ass. This guy is ferocious. If she did that, it would start Godzilla vs. King Kong. The action scenes in this movie were amazing. Godzilla really felt threatening, and somehow the explosion from Godzilla's piss laser seemed more powerful than the one in Oppenheimer, the movie about an explosion.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worth.
Now, I don't want to spoil the whole movie, but it is a strong contender for the best movie of 2023. And it has some tough competition with Indiana Jones and the Marvels coming out. So if you haven't watched Godzilla Minus One yet, watch it. And if you have watched it, I don't know, good job.